stupid. So I'm here with my friend Sam. I've known her for years. She's super sick. She has a really cool clothing company called Shotgun Vintage. So I wanted to do this series of photos where I did full facial tattoos on people. So I thought Sam would be great for it, and I did some design work last night of the tattoos, and I decided to put Frida Kahlo on her because Sam's like a strong, creative woman. So I thought Frida would be a cool image for that. The reason I wanted to do this like series of photos, actually two reasons. So when I first fell in love with photography, I kind of had this notion in my head of like, I wanted to be completely opposite of everything I do with tattoos. Like with tattooing, I do only black and white. So I was like, I'm only gonna photograph in color because I just wanted to like separate everything. As I went on in the past like year and a half shooting, I just started to think like, why am I not using my strengths? Like I should do this in black and white. For years I've been working to understand contrast and light and shadow, and those are my strengths, so I might as well use them in the photos. And then the tattoo thing popped into my mind too. Like I have this skill set where I can draw and design tattoos, so why wouldn't I not apply that to photos? Second reason is I'm just inconsistent. I just get ideas and I shoot them, and I was like, I should do something where I could do like a project with like multiple models and like a uniform thing. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get it. On to the next location. I don't have a black backdrop, and I want something to absorb the light so it doesn't like reflect back on the shadow side of her face. So I'll go DIY with the black blanket. Shout out to my height. So we're gonna go for like kind of old Hollywood lighting. I want to have like a nice highlight on her face with like deep shadows in her jawline. But then I use the small light to light up the background behind her just so she doesn't disappear into the background. Unfortunately, we were missing one of the studio lights when we got here, so we had to figure it out in a pinch, but luckily I had these little aperture lights, and they're magnetic, so I just magnetized one of those to the top of a random tripod. And the other light we were going to be using was going to be behind this flat, so you wouldn't see it. But luckily, where the tripod is, just by raising the seating a bit, her body and head is going to block the whole tripod, creating a nice halo of light behind her head. So we figured it out in a pinch. I think we're good. These Rollieflexes, when you're used to shooting 35mm, it's fucked. Because the image is like not flipped, so if you turn this way, it goes this way. So like everything in your body wants to go the wrong way. Chin up just a bit. 1, 2. Chin up a bit, yeah. 1, 2. That looks great. 1, 2. When you're old and blind, anytime pretend like you're not. One of the problems with tattooing all day and then shooting all night, your eyes die. 1, 2. I want to make sure I got it wound all the way so I don't destroy the roll. Thank God. Alright. So we're using Ilford HP5 400 ISO 120 film. And we're pushing it 2 stops to 1600. Ilford pushes really well. You could push it pretty far and then just bring it back into developing, and all it does is give you a bit more grain and like deeper contrast, which is my favorite part of film anyways, the grain. So All right, so we just did the first shoot with this Rollieflex 3.5F I just bought. It's what a beautiful camera. It's just a beautiful piece of equipment, super timeless. Probably 60 years old, I'd say. I joined Halifax Darkroom here. That's where we're at right now. It's a collective studio. There's a darkroom, do silver gelatin prints, and then there's a shared studio space here, which we used today. But we did well. I think we did good with this shoot. I'm sure a couple of them are in focus. Got to catch up with an old friend, Sam. She's so cool, such a good person. You got to check out Shotgun Vintage. So yeah, good times, hanging out with friends, making flicks, flick, 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 flick. Still new to this, you know. Super stoked to see where this goes and just have a new creative medium to play with. And yeah, loving it so far. Life is good.